Again, welcome everyone. A lot of people coming here tonight. Great you could make it, Sean. Looking forward to hearing you talk soon. Great. Video's up as well.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, again, we've just got a few more minutes, so definitely going to wait and have more people come up. Anyhow, for those that have already arrived, welcome. And this is Just Knowledge, the Human MRI. And you probably received an email from me or other note or text. And thank you for joining in for this wonderful evening. I'm looking forward to talking about this material, Nano Soma, as well as also do blessings and other practices tonight. So everybody's going to have something they can take home and experience and so much more. So that's why I'm always excited to do this work. And wherever you are in the world, we have people maybe showing up from the far side of the planet and in different time zones. Also, if you enjoyed what you saw here, it is also going to be available in rebroadcast. It'll be up for about another week or so. So you can always share it with a friend, that kind of thing, and so much more. For what it's worth, now that I'm on the East Coast, everybody else behind me is earlier. So some people may not have been able to leave work or be in attendance live. And for another person who wrote me from England, it's midnight there now. And one of my clients and someone who's experienced my work and practice, hopefully she can make it. So wherever you are tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, more people will be arriving shortly. If somebody has a question right now, I'd just like to text it in. I'll be happy to answer that before we get officially going. And that's always good. Again, hi, Violet. Glad you could make it. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, just so you know, Violet, you're muted, but you look like you're laughing and saying hi. So I'll take that as a good sign.
Oh, yes. Hi. Sorry. I forget about muted. So it is. So yes, I'm just about to get into bed here. So I'll take the video off here and mute.
My gosh. Well, thank you for coming so late. As yeah, what's it, midnight there? Yeah. Okay. Greg?
Midnight here, yeah. I was just saying, yes, it is midnight here.
That's what I thought. Well, enjoy your evening in jolly old England and so much more.
It's Ireland, actually. Be United Kingdom is Ireland, Northern Ireland. Yeah, Northern Ireland.
Fabulous. Violet, I'm Irish. I'm Irish of lineage. Sean Gabriel McDonald. Yes, Gaelic spelling and all. It's on my list.
So again, welcome. This is Justin Elledge, the Human MRI, and medical intuitive, health researcher, inventor. I've done it all. Still working on finishing a book I started some time ago about health secrets. In fact, that's one of the things that I'm really excited about is in my book is that I'm devoting a whole chapter strictly to Nano Soma. And this is a real game changer. Over the years, those that have been following me and been a part of my telesummits know that life has not been a bed of roses health-wise. I've been challenged with things as a kid, as like migraine headaches, fell out of a tree, ended up in the ER, drank lighter fluid, was poisoned, dealt with mercury fillings for many years, and on and on and on. So I'm not coming to this because I have all the answers or live this idyllic life. Rather, I have had to work out every day to achieve and hold on to the health that God gave me to begin with, that was taken away through medical models that were highly toxic to my body. I can't imagine anybody getting a silver filling anymore, but amalgam fillings are still part of the practice of the American Dental Association. So much of the problems I see in people again are caused by exogenous materials, toxins, poisons, glyphosate. You know, if you're listening to me, you know about most of these. So in this challenge, in this journey of finding health, of achieving the goal of being me, I have looked high and low. I've looked at technology, Rife machines, beamers. I've looked at EMF, PEMFs. I've looked at other products, other potions, other pills, and none has excited me as much as this material called Nano Soma. Now, it just so happens, everyone, we have the national, should I say director, Sean? How would
the title is, for what it's worth, is General Manager for the United States Division of Magic Dicol, the company that that has brought Nano Soma forward to the United States and to other parts of the world.
All right, everyone, then I will officially introduce Sean McDonald, who is here to speak about the Nano Soma, but more importantly, his own personal experiences. Sean has an amazing health clinic in Lexington, Kentucky. Did I get that right?
Yes.
And had a chance to look at it online. It's about a 3-hour journey from here, 4-hour journey. So I'm planning to go visit it myself and take advantage of some of the wonderful technologies and scalar technologies that are there. So each of us, I know, everyone that's listening has come to health because of a challenge. And Nano Soma was something that came onto my radar about 3 months ago. Since that time, I've read more about it. I have other testimonials and things I'm going to read. And something I'll say right now, this is not a multi-level product. It is something that's sold individually, and it is sold around the world. It's been in the market now about 10 years. So I'm going to turn it over to Sean right now, and you go ahead and take it.
Thank you, Justin. First of all, let me publicly express my gratitude for everybody. Justin and I have only recently met through his engagement with Nano Soma, and some of you may or may not know, we've been overwhelmed with expressed interest in growth and sales volume that put us, frankly, on the back foot. May 1st, we imported. Not imported, we had bottled and put in the warehouse, our fulfillment center, 20,000 bottles, which based on prior sales trend, we estimated to be about a 90-day supply. And we ran out just before May 20th. So our estimates were woefully off. And so we had been backordered since then. We've ramped up our production and all of that. I'll talk a little bit about that. But it's been a real joy to meet people like Justin and so many others. I stepped into this role about a month ago, officially as general manager here. President of the company, Richard Presser, Dr. Richard Presser. He's an engineer, PhD, so I want to make that short. He's not a medical physician doctor. He's a PhD engineer. Doesn't really do much with that anymore. Brilliant man, love him. He's based in Melbourne, Australia. You can imagine the challenges trying to run a business in the United States with the time zone alone. Although every time I talk to him, it's 12 hours in the future, so I'm always grateful to know tomorrow will exist. So it's always nice to have that confirmation. So I met Richard back in January when my clinic, I found out about Nano Soma, and my partner and I have a healing center in Lexington, Kentucky, and came across this through some other acquaintances, and I was, as everybody is, highly intrigued, ordered some, and myself, I wasn't really battling anything as a current medical crisis condition or anything. And so, I just started the normal protocol, just looked at it as an opportunity to maintain my wellness and go from there. And then my partner and mother-in-law, all of that, we started using this, and it was really clear right away there's something unique about this. Just the feeling of health from the inside out is something that I've not experienced before. It's a bit esoteric to try to describe, but I knew that it was really something special. And my former career was 30 years in advertising and marketing and community journalism, that sort of thing. So I had most recently been managing a digital advertising agency, and started talking with Richard about getting some brand recognition in the United States. He brought the product to the United States in November. So it's not even 9 months into having it here. So that's how Richard and I started talking. And through that process, the evolution came where I just felt more compelled to get to know him, and started selling it through our center, started seeing immediate, amazing testimonials from it, and really felt the call to start helping him out. So we talked about that, and I started kind of taking care of some things that he couldn't quite get to, offering some help. One thing led to another, and we just built a level of trust right away. As I say, kismet happens. It kind of happened that way, and I had felt called for about 5 years. For about the last 5 years, I saw that I'd be transitioning out of that 30-year career, and had no idea what that transition would look like, what that reinvention would look like, and just remained patient and waited for it. And so here I am now, and I couldn't be more honored. I've never felt this fulfilled. It's nice to have passion about something you're doing again, true passion, because you really see that, you really feel that. And it's a real honor to talk to you guys today. So I'm happy to do my best to answer anybody's questions. I've only got about 15 minutes or 20 minutes that I can spend with you today, but I'm really honored that Justin invited me. I'd like to share my personal experience with Nano Soma, because I feel like it's quite profound, at least for me. I have suffered from, well, I don't like the word suffer. I have had a lifelong food allergy from the time I can remember as a young child. And it's bizarre, although I have met a number of people in my lifetime that have a very similar thing to one extent or another. I have been allergic to raw fruits and vegetables my whole life. To eat a banana is not something that I've been able to do. To eat an apple, to have a carrot stick, to just enjoy some radishes in my salad. Lettuce, about the only thing that didn't really bother me, although some of the more spicy lettuces like arugula would bother me, which I love. And so essentially just a bite or two of any of these wonderful things, if they were raw, would break my mouth out, and my throat would get very scratchy and swell up, and it was incredibly uncomfortable. It certainly wasn't life-threatening, but it was so uncomfortable that I just avoided them. And I became a vegetarian for a few years in my 20s, just to force myself to accept the fact that I needed to integrate that fruits and vegetables into my diet. So you do things like steam your vegetables or stir fry them a little bit, and canned fruits, dried fruits, that sort of thing. But it's just not the same, and it's a missing element of life and of health, and taking in the beautiful vitamin and minerals that we get from a good diet. And so I'm turning 51 in a couple of weeks, and through my years, this allergy had really essentially become so pedestrian that I just don't even think about it. I mean, I just became habit to avoid how I would ingest things. Started taking Nano Soma in January. It's been 6 months now. And about 3 months ago, we were out for dinner, and I was having a salad. And, I try not to be the picky eater at the restaurant. I figure I'll just nudge some things to the side and avoid what I can't eat, because lettuce is fairly benign for me. And so I got this salad, beautiful, fresh, organic, farm to table restaurant, and had all these wonderful things in there. And I've always said, about every year or two, I'll go ahead and take a bite of something just to see if my biologic nature has changed, if something has changed. And so I started eating this and expected to have the typical breakout. Nothing happened. And I didn't even connect the dots as to what was going on. I just thought, okay, that's interesting. So then I got home and I thought, well, I'm going to eat an apple. My partner eats a lot of this stuff. The house is full of this wonderful stuff. Take a bite of apple. Hey, nothing's going on here. And I started connecting the dots. 3 months into using Nano Soma, I will tell you that I have had 100% reversal. I eat most of what I'm eating now is raw fruits and vegetables, and I have zero issues with it. To me, that is profound. That is a life-altering, dietary, profound impact. The only thing that has been introduced to my system is Nano Soma. And I completely believe that that is the direct cause and effect of this amazing product that Dr. Raghavan has invented, and that now I have the pleasure of being able to have a hand in bringing it to people. That is just my story. And I think it's a good story for me anyhow. I get the pleasure of talking to people via email and phone calls all day long. And one of the things I think Justin will testify to is we try to be very accessible. We're a small, but very, very rapidly growing company. And I think accessibility is key. It's tough sometimes to get a response out to everybody in a day or two, but we love the engagement. And I get emails every day of testimonials. I see the results. I see them locally from people that are buying Nano Soma through my health center. We have a client here who has a few cats. One of them has been severely diabetic, and about a month and a half ago, this cat was going into renal failure, and she was just very, very distraught because she was dealing with having to put her animal down, and she felt it wasn't time. She had Nano Soma that she had purchased from us. I did not guide her in this. She shared this story after the fact. She felt spirit led to use Nano Soma for her animal, which is quite common. We actually have protocols for animals too, so it's quite common. And so she let spirit guide her to how much, and she ended up getting it right, about a drop for an animal. You know, just get a little eyedropper out, give about a drop. So she started giving this cat a couple of drops of Nano Soma a day, and within 2 or 3 days, as she relates the story, this cat's running around the house like a brand new animal after being on its deathbed. And she took it to the vet. They did a checkup. It was marked improvement in the diabetic blood sugar levels and insulin and all of that. Now that it's been over a month and a half since then, she's taken it back. The test for diabetic, it basically almost shows non-existent. And as it turns out, from all of the testimonials, and as Raghu can comment, and there are some excellent interviews available online with Richard Presser and Dr. Raghavan. You know, diabetes is one of the things from a track record, and everybody's mileage may vary. I need to say that. From a track record, diabetes is one of the quickest things that Nano Soma has a positive impact on, lowering blood sugar, lowering blood pressure, things like that. So it works in a unique way.
Sean, let me just jump in on that again. Like everything else, I didn't do it just non-disclosure, or rather disclaimer that we're not giving medical advice. We're not, claiming that Nano Soma cures or treats any disease or illness.
Yes.
However, but we are sharing a lot of people who've been taking it as their own testimonials of what they've experienced.
Yes, thank you for that. And it is important. I am not a medical background individual at all. I can relate the experiences of others, and I can share mine, and I can share the science behind Nano Soma, which is all very, very transparent. Our international website is very robust with 10 years of testimonials, published articles, lab studies, so on and so forth. So there's all kinds of information accessible for anyone to take a look at. So, these stories, they come to us from people who have had profound impact, and it's just an across the board, up, down, side to side. What Nano Soma does, it triggers the body to bring itself into health balance. The science behind this product is using the natural molecule polycosanol, which is found in essentially all plant life, all foods, some more prevalent than others. We source it from organic, non-GMO, raw, unprocessed sugarcane and rice wax. Those are 2 elements that have the highest concentrations. I was talking to Raghu, as we call him, Dr. Raghavan, we call him Raghu. He was telling me the other day that grape skins actually have one of the highest amounts of polycosanol in. It's considerably more difficult to extract from grape skin than these other elements like raw sugar cane and rice wax. So that's one of the reasons we don't do it. But he's like, you should always eat the grape skins. Always eat them. You get a ton of polycosanol. So polycosanol is if you don't know, is one of the oldest. Both Richard Presser and Raghu believe it to be essentially the oldest biological element that brought life to this planet. It is a lipid alcohol, which is very prevalent. It is essential for biology to exist. Our skin is a lipid. It's the element that holds things together. So Raghu, with his pharmaceutical background, which he walked away from after realizing that he was not helping people, he was helping profits, maintaining health conditions, and went on a journey to discover ultimately polycosanol and his patented process of stabilizing this particle, this natural molecule, stabilizing it at such a small level that when you ingest it, it actually penetrates your cell. When it penetrates the cell, essentially, it wakes your cell up. The human cell has the power to do myriad things, and it wakes up the cell to its full potential of health balance. And we've lost that over millennia through having our foods processed. We've lost a concentration of polycosanol in our systems from processed foods and so on and so forth, environmental deterioration, you name it, all of these things over millennia. Our bodies have forgotten to do some of the things that they are naturally capable of doing. And apparently, what we know is that Nano Soma triggers the body to wake up and bring itself into health balance. As Raghu says, essentially, when you use Nano Soma, the body begins to triage what is not correct. And it focuses on healing and bringing into balance the most life-critical things. There are some remarkable testimonials about people who were near death and were very quickly, health conditions turned around after introduction of Nano Soma. There's a case just recently, last year, in Mumbai. A physician was treating a woman with a condition called severe drug-resistant tuberculosis, a non-curable condition in his 30 or 40 years of practice. He introduced Nano Soma and changed nothing else to her treatment. And within a short period of time, and this is on the website, I can provide links. I can send Jeffrey a link to this particular experience and documented reality. Within a short period of time, and forgive me, I don't recall exactly, but it wasn't very long, maybe 3-4 weeks, maybe less. This particular woman had no more signs of tuberculosis. The doctor wrote a paper about it because he had never seen anything like it in his entire life.
John, with that was the oral administration or through a nebulizer?
Oral administration, normal use protocol.
One of the theories I'm working on is that the Nano Soma, because it's a type of alcohol, which is not like the same thing you get out of beer or wine. Or
no, it is not that kind of alcohol.
So my belief is because it's so small, it gets into the cell and gives it the energy that has been so lacking based on our foods and materials that we ingest, especially here in the West, that have not allowed our body to heal, that would be there if we were still in the hunter-gatherer phase of eating raw food or freshly cooked,
exactly,
out of the ground.
You're exactly right. That is the difference. That is where we as human beings have lost a level of our immunity. Our divine immunity is incredibly powerful. There is no replacement for it. And when you introduce this particular product, Nano Soma, into your body, again, Nano Soma itself is not doing anything. It's triggering the body to do all that it already knew how to do and had forgotten. It's a wake-up call to the body. And so the body comes into health balance. Some things will take a little bit longer. Everybody's mileage may vary. There is no guarantee. I will share a personal experience story. I shared it with my mother. She has been battling diabetes. And I sent it to her in full confidence, like, oh my gosh, she's going to go to the doctor next month and she's not going to have anything wrong with her, so on and so forth. Well, nothing happened. And I share that in full transparency. Nothing happened. I talked to her recently about it. And, my mother is a wonderful woman. I love her and we're close. She and I have very different thought processes about the world in which we live in. All respect to anybody's faith. She is very, very devout in her Western Christian belief in life and spirit. I fully respect and support that. She's very allopathic in her mental approach to healthcare. Western medical allopathic. Doctor will give you something, you'll take it, and the results will be the results. And when I talked with her recently, I just said, Mom, I think, what I'm learning through the exposure to a lot of people is that, we have the ability to accept and understand the beauty of a gift that can be given and have profound impact on our lives. We also have the exact same ability to be in the way of that gift having an impact. And in her case, it is my belief that she just wasn't able to accept or understand something so simple as this could have such a profound impact. And I think that's what sort of ultimately created a non-reaction, a non-action in her experience. She used it for 3 months, not quite 3 months. She went through 3 bottles and she went through the rapid protocol. So she went through a bottle in a week and a bottle in 2 weeks and then a bottle in a month. She did all of that. And I told her I would keep sending it to her if I thought that she would be open. Otherwise, there was really no point in doing that. And that's my personal belief. That's sort of more anecdotal than anything. But when we introduce any healing element to our body, it is in a way up to us to be open to the world of change and positivity that can come from that. And I think when we approach it with that, more miracles can happen, more miraculous appearance of miracles, I would say. I'm not sure it is a miracle so much as it is something we just haven't experienced. And so many people are experiencing that now. So, with that, I don't want to take too much of the floor here, and I know that Justin's got many wonderful things to share with you all. If anybody has any specific questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Justin has my email address. You can engage me directly through email. I always respond. It may take me a day or two, but I will always respond to your questions. And visit our website, nanosoma.com. There is a plethora of information there that if you haven't been there, you'll really enjoy. Dr. Presser there's a link to a simple 14-minute video where he very, very clearly educates you about what Nano Soma is, how Nano Soma works, and what it's doing, and some of the science behind Nano Soma. It's very much worth your while to watch that. So I would encourage you to visit that website, take a look at that. If you feel led to that, then I would encourage you to follow your heart on that.
And I also want to say is that I have a whole page up on the humanmri.com dedicated to Nano Soma. I've got the video up there, more information. We're uploading more testimonials, trying to simply put all in one place, all this information that you'll find helpful to understand just how beneficial this is. Again, looking at photographs and looking at some of the diseases of people and the physical damage in their bodies before and after. For one person, their fingernails were black and it looked like asphalt on a hot day. And 6 months later, his fingernails were looking much, much better. So as Sean was saying, for each person, it's different. Now, I've been on it 3 months myself, and I'm just starting to see incremental improvement. So am I planning to go probably 6 months to a year? Absolutely. And so each person's biology is different. And of course, there are those people with everything, no matter what it is, that they cannot find a resolution.
Sure. And I just want to encourage all of you to, we are not multi-level marketing, as Justin mentioned earlier. That to me was one of the factors in my call to embrace this product and embrace this new path. I think that's really important. I think it's a position of integrity to have. We never will be an MLM operation. We do have many, many, many resellers. We have many partners. Right in our store, we offer distributor packs with wholesale pricing. And just like Justin, I buy it at the same price Justin buys it at and sell it out of our shop here in Lexington. I encourage you all, buy it from Justin. He is invested in this product, and you certainly can buy it from us. Buy it from Justin. Support him and his efforts to help bring this beautiful product to his corner of the world. This growth has happened as a result of grassroots people sharing their experiences and talking to people about it. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm grateful to be here today. And Justin, I hope we can do this again with a little more in-depth time. This was impromptu. We had a phone call this morning just to talk about his order, because we've been back ordered, and we've gotten through that. And he said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing tonight," and I said I'd be delighted to come on, and I really am, truly. Thank you very, very much.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for being here. I love your, is that medicine Buddha, or is that green Tara over your shoulder?
That's green Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's green Tara. You can't see him here, but there's a beautiful Ganesh right here. And then let's see. I'm also a drummer, so that's my drum set in the background. You probably can't see it. It's my practice drum set. So I play some music from time to time now. I used to do that professionally, and I got tired. So now I just do it a little bit professionally. So I got my hip little office here at home. I'm no longer working for the corporate man, and I love it. It's beautiful, and I'm grateful.
Indeed. I'm so looking forward to meeting you first person and do more of what I do. I will send you and everyone, this is being recorded, so if you missed any part of this, including the blessings and empowerment I'm about to dive into. Feel free to enjoy. So while I'm talking, I ask everyone that's out there listening, please go and get a glass of water that I'm going to bless from here in North Carolina so that you can enjoy it. Get 2 glasses if you want, 3 if you want to go, or get a jug of water, whatever you have handy. And I will do that in a few minutes, but just go get that glass of water, go get that container, and I will bless it as I have, as you have experienced out there for my clients and people that have worked with me. And put one out somewhere in your house. Sean and I will do the same for you as well.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to go get that water. I know you're going to be blessing it whether I'm on the screen or not. Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much. All right. Well, it was my sincere pleasure. And again, just how the universe works to have Sean show up today. It was not planned. And this talk tonight was completely informal, without PowerPoint and all that. I just wanted to keep it really simple. So what am I saying? That this material, Nano Soma, is perhaps one of the greatest discoveries. And I do believe the inventor should be getting a Nobel Peace Prize in medicine or chemistry or physics, because it's helping so many. Many, many years ago, I was asked by Lisa Garr, you may be familiar with her. She's been on Gaia TV or Gaiam TV, and she also speaks out of KPFK, the Aware Show in Los Angeles. When I was on her show back in 2016, I want to take it back, 2006. So if this really goes back, she asked, is there any one thing that I can do? We're asking about herself. Is there any one product or material that I can do that will do everything? And back then I told her no, and that was 15 years ago. So this one product, the Nano Soma, is probably one of the only products I've ever seen that comes close to being that one material. And there are a few others, of course, but the Nano Soma, it's a nutraceutical. It is made in a laboratory factory in Switzerland. And I have to think that the Swiss and the legal ramifications and laws of manufacture over there are pretty strict. So I couldn't be more pleased that this is coming out of a factory in Europe rather than a factory in China, as so many things have come out of there and had so many problems with it. And I leave it at that. So sharing that again, the bottle, this is like right here, this is my empty bottle from last month. So Nano Soma, it's a little spritzer bottle, and I will read to you the protocol just so I have it clear. For a person, if you're in complete health, you could do 1 bottle a month, which is more of a maintenance dose. For someone with a challenge or health issue, they start, and basically once a day, it's a spritzer bottle. So like 5 sprays a day, once a day, in the mouth, under the tongue, is adequate. However, also know that if you're taking prescription medications, the likelihood of a healing crisis when you begin to use Nano Soma is much greater. I myself had a healing crisis when I first started it. And part of the healing process and protocol is to do much more than just 5 sprays, which is pumping this 5 times once a day. And so for myself and others with an existing health condition, it is recommended to use 5 sprays once a day for the first week, then use 1 bottle in the second week, which is 5 sprays 4 times a day. And the second bottle, I'm going to go backward on this. So 5 sprays a day. I'm reading off their information, so I'm trying to get this. Use 5 sprays once a day for the first week, then continue using that same bottle, then use the rest of the bottle in the second week, 5 sprays 4 times a day until you use up that first bottle, and then a second bottle over the next 2 weeks, that's 5 sprays twice a day, and the third bottle over the next 4 weeks or a month, which is 5 sprays a day. That's normal. It takes it, it gets it into the body gets saturated, and then the health can start going further. And I have read about people having their own protocol, what they feel good. You heard Sean mention it about their pet, is that this is unusual that a product has that kind of response. And so reading about one individual, he started doing 40, 50, 60 sprays a day. And at that level, because he was quite ill, that he really started seeing an improvement. So I'm going to try that. And I speak, that's for me, no one else. So I'm going to try bumping it up 25, 30 sprays a day, 40 sprays a day, and see how I do at that higher level. And I tend to overdo things at times. So I will be careful, and feel free to stay in contact. And I'll let you know how it's going. Also, people are using Nano Soma directly on wounds. People are putting it in their eyes for things like glaucoma and cataracts with reported. And again, these are testimonials that people are having amazing experiences. I won't go too much further with this, but let me just read one of the other testimonials. This is someone with a severe back issue. Writing today is a testimonial, truly amazing result of Nano Soma produces. I am not going to repeat what others have said about it. I share with you and Raghu, Dr. Raghavan, my test data from my body scan. It shows amazing health improvements. What it cannot show is the other changes occurring to the human body. As you are aware from a past letter to you, I suffered from a lifelong idiopathic scoliosis to my lumbar spine. The curve was at 40 degrees in the lumbar region. For those who don't know of the disease, it can be debilitating, putting it mildly. One of the conditions for the cause is a muscular imbalance. The brain cannot send signals for the muscles to grow and stabilize the cavity. So in my situation in childhood, I've suffered from the get-go. I will leave out the details. Anyhow, he started using the Nano Soma and started having amazing results. The pain going away. Now, I don't know where the status of it is, as this was quite a while back, but to go with, it was definitely helping, and his right-sided systems continued. So they've been on their second year with Nano Soma and feeling better, movement better, so many other things. And these are just one of hundreds of testimonials that people have put in here. If anybody would like, please, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy, paste, and put into the text for everybody to see, the chat, and I will put this at the end. I won't send it right now because everybody will start reading. We don't want that. So I will put it that way and go from there. Anna wrote, is there any contraindication because of BP medication? I'm not supposed to take potassium. As far as I know, all the data that I've read that indicates there's no conflict, there's no a problem with taking Nano Soma, regardless whether you take vitamins, minerals, pills, potions, or anything else like that, that in fact there should not be a interaction. Let me go back and look at, I was just reading this, so I'll go back and read it again. Where did I put it? Again, this is all. And so, no, is that the metadicol is a professional, the proper word, or they're food ingredients. And of course, it's made from a form of rice as well as sugarcane for that particular molecule. And so it's probably more safe than sugar or salt. And so it being a food and not a chemical, not a vitamin, not a mineral, it should not have any interaction. However, it should not is not the same. It will never have an interaction. But as far as I know, based on what I've read about it, what I've looked at, no one's having any interactions with their medication. So it should be pretty safe. And yes, when it comes to heart conditions, definitely want to stay on top of that one and more. So that to consider what you're doing, always, speak to your physician first. But unfortunately, most physicians have never heard of Nano Soma. All right, so if someone has another question they'd like to text me or feel free. I'm going to just read one or two more about that. Oh, I will share this. Raghu, the inventor, sent me a paper that was submitted from one of the hospitals in India. And it was a very small study. It was informal rather than a double-blind study of 5 people that were having COVID symptoms, were in the hospital, and they were given Nano Soma as Raghu made it available to people there. And of the 5 people that took it, all of them walked out of the hospital within 5 days. So it also seems that Nano Soma also benefits those with infections like COVID. So one of the aspects of it is because it is smaller than a virus, that it actually helps remove viruses because it boosts the immune system. One of the things Sean did not mention is that Nano Soma also accesses the vitamin D receptors. And it works by activating the nuclear receptors that are present in the nucleus of all cells. And so if we don't have vitamin D, you may have been hearing about people not getting enough vitamin D being one of the issues of having COVID. So the vitamin D receptor, or the VDR, is responsible for enhancing immunity, which is present in all organs and tissues of the body. And so the Nano Soma will bind to that receptor and basically turn it on. So this is a big deal. And of course, if you have vitamin D in your system and you're using the Nano Soma, it's like a win-win. And the same thing is happening with, of all things, vitamin C. The vitamin C, which we as humans lost a long time ago. And there's 4 enzymes required to convert sugars circulating through the liver into ascorbate, vitamin C, and the scientific term for vitamin C. The humans universally carry a defective gene that can no longer produce the 4th enzyme, which is granulolactone oxidase, required to synthesize vitamin C. We're only very few mammals and animals on this planet cannot make their own vitamin C. Squids in the ocean make their own vitamin C. Squirrels out in the field make their own vitamin C. Zebras, lions, tigers, bears all make their own vitamin C. But except for some of the apes and monkeys and humans and 1 or 2 small animals, we do not make our own vitamin C. So because of this, that the Nano Soma will act as a cofactor in the synthesis of epinephrine, which is adrenaline, and which also helps regulate amino acids, strengthening resistance to infection, aiding in the absorption of iron. The array goes on and on and on, all the different things that vitamin C does. So one of the things about Nano Soma or metadicol, it increases the vitamin C levels in plasma and eliminates the need to have possibly other vitamin supplements. Wouldn't that be something? I would love to not have to take any other vitamins. So it helps what we have in vitamin C in our system work much, much better. And one of the things that, as I understand it, helps recycle vitamin C rather than it becoming oxidized and then being passed on the body. So that's, again, just kind of a snapshot of the Nano Soma. I'm going to read one more testimonial. Actually, I'm going to show you a testimonial, and this is was to Dr. Richard Presser. And so I always love to show things rather than simply talk all the time. So this was one of those things that I found, and it's pretty much, one second. There we go, that's better. So now you can see this puppy, and you see the puppy on the left with red paws, and that's a defect. So Dr. Presser, I wanted to share with you, I had a litter of puppies born 4/3/21. So that's just April 3rd of this year. And one was born hypoglycemic with blood red paws. Now I didn't know that puppies could be hypoglycemic and diagnosed with this. So instead of using high fructose corn syrup to bring the glucose levels up, I felt called upon to administer Nano Soma to the newborn. I asked Spirit how much, and it guided me to give 0.75 milliliters, basically a teeny drop. I put it on the puppy's lip and watched in awe and reverence as before my very eyes, the pigment began to fill in the blood red places. The puppy is developing normally with proper weight gain, nursing beautifully, and seems content. He looks just like his 9 siblings now, just 6 days later. So again, the puppy on the left, bright red paws indicating hypoglycemia and low blood sugar. And a few days later, fully dark pause. Go figure. So I share that with you because this is what I'm totally amazed about. I mean, people are having these crazy events. Now, are there other products that I've ranted and raved about? Yes. In fact, one of them is double helix water. This material is the closest thing I've ever seen to one material does everything. I've seen it bring people back from Alzheimer's. I've seen it bring kids out of autism syndromes. I've used it myself when I'm feeling a little bit slowed down or just needing a little bit of pick me up. Marathon runners, bicyclists, and many other things, because this also gets into every cell. So for me, I'm using it with the Nano Soma. Now, also because I want to keep more vitamin C in my system, I've also been using it with my Vitality C, which is also on my website. So this is, a daily dose of this is 5 grams, which is about 50 times higher than the considered RDA. So more is better when it comes to vitamin C. Your body can only use so much, and what it doesn't absorb, it will put out. However, now with Nano Soma on the scene, it's actually recycling it, which means the vitamin C is working over and over. Imagine every time you wrote a check that you had that same amount of money put back in your bank account. How many checks can you keep writing? Pretty amazing. So it's that thing of it keeps the vitamin C being recycled. Let's see, can it be returned if it doesn't work for me? Money back. I don't have any sugar at all because of Candida. A lot of people have been taking the Nano Soma and have had amazing results with gut issues and digestive issues. Everybody's different. I will say this to you, Lucy, if you order it and you can return the unopened bottles. Once you've opened the bottle, it's yours. But if you say you order 3 bottles and 2 bottles in, you thought, this isn't working, or even 1 bottle, again, that's fine. I am in no worries about getting it back, because I cannot keep this stuff on the shelf. I was a little bit flat-footed and didn't order far enough ahead myself. Last year with COVID, I ordered a year's supply of vitamin C, and I sold all that vitamin C in about a month. And so what I have now on hand, since we've gotten over the big wave and the push of COVID, I'm way ahead. And that's why I'm now stocking up on the Nano Soma. I should have my big order in-house by Saturday, so feel free to order, and we should be able to put everything out probably by Monday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday next week of the latest. Of course, it is a 4th of July weekend, so most places will be closed for the holiday. So don't quote these exact dates, but they just have recently shipped a very small shipment of Nano Soma to me. It's already spoken for, and Catherine, this year is a part of yours. And so as soon as it's ready to go, there is just so many things that people have had an experience with. Again, it's recommended as an oral supplement, though I've shot in my eye, it burned a little bit, but what the heck, I want to improve my vision and get it back to what it was when I was a kid, which was 2015. That'd be great. I'd be happy with 2020. And fortunately, these are just reading glasses, so I don't have a real bad stigmatism at this time. So everyone is different. Again, I don't know if it would hurt anyone. Haven't found that yet. But if it's not working for someone, it's not working for whatever reason. But sometimes it may take, instead of 3 months, it might take 4 months. I'm right at about 3 months now, but people can say, oh, your energy levels look better. You're looking great. And I just smile and say, thank you so much. So I'm moving forward. I'm having fun. And I so much wanted to share this with everyone. So if anyone has any more questions about that, again, there's a whole lot of information about this on my website. There's a 20-minute video, real short, real to the point, by Richard Presser, and he goes into all the pictures, the diagrams, the science, and it's a presentation from YouTube. So rather than try to simply play that for you folks, I wanted to make it personal. So with that, I don't see any more questions coming up. Again, if someone has a burning question they would like to speak on, please raise your hand and I will open that up. And again, I will later send the link to all the testimonials. Bear in mind, it's like 60 pages of testimonials for the last few years. So if you want to wade through that, by all means, there are some photographs in there. And the websites that are here in the States do not include all the stuff that's available for overseas because of legal reasons and requirements, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so moving forward. This is why you're here. Okay. I hope by now everybody has their glass of water. Okay. So I've lit my altar. I've said my prayers. And so everyone now, just if you have a container, please open the container lid so that we have access to putting the energy into it. And I will do the sacred blessing of the water. So again, if you have the glass in front of you, make sure you're not touching it and more. So just bear with me for a few moments. And so it is. Okay, everyone, feel free to take a sip or try it and see how it feels. How does it taste? Is it sweeter? Is it more sour? Is it a little bit more bright? Is it a little more flat? How does it taste? And feel free to post your responses in the chat. Also, again, one of the things that I believe that Nano Soma will help with is fungal infections. Of course, diabetics have been having amazing results. But again, other people with arthritis, after cancer, after other type of surgeries, many, many things, a number of things. I've even seen pictures of a man whose hair is growing back. I saw another picture of a woman where the wrinkles were going away from her face and she was just spraying it on. I don't yet have it available, but there is actually a gel and a cream. So I would be curious to try that one myself when it is available. So again, it will be available in different forms. All right, so everybody just take a moment. I'm going to bless the water one more time. So again, make sure to set it down, hands off. Okay, so I'll do that once more before the night's over. So if you want to go get some more water, which you can keep or store, by all means. And by blessing this water, I am honored to be able to continue my Buddhist practice so that many can actually see the reality of it and that it has great merit, that it has great power. And that's why things like Nano Soma is so much a part of my practice of finding the highest vibration. There are other products, again, like double helix water. There's other products on my website, like the X39 patches, which actually regenerate stem cells. I don't want to go into that tonight. That's a long conversation, but information is there. So everything at this point in my life is now about reclaiming youth, moving forward, at the same time, healing the body. I'd like to see 125 years running a marathon. And though I've never run a marathon, who knows? That the challenges I've had have been many. And to finally put those all to rest once and for all is one of the reasons I'm taking the Nano Soma. So with that said, I'm just looking, is there anyone there that had a sip of the water? They want to share what they felt, feel free to send a text message. And we're going to move on to part 2. Okay, so enough said about the Nano Soma. And again, I will be into the toward the end of the evening, I will put the text message into the text so you guys can, after this is over, feel free to look through 60 pages of testimonials from all over the world, different people. That's much. All right, so next one, folks, it's a little bit late, so this is my favorite of favorites, and this is from the Dharma book by Master Yu. He was the Buddhist teacher that took me in refuge some 20 plus years ago. And of this one, I share of the energy meditation. Now, my students know this one well, and I don't want to do it too late at night. Otherwise, I'll be up till 2 in the morning. So the energy meditation is about raising one's vibration. I'm teaching you this. You can do it on a plane, a train, an automobile, standing in an elevator, sitting at a street light. And it's very simple. And I will put the mantra in here. So please look in the message box. Ah, da, wa, ah, ah, ba, la. So the mantra, which is the hardest part of this, is to keep that engine running. And the mantra goes again. Ah, da, wa, ah, ah, ba, la. That's 7 syllables. If I say it quickly, it sounds like ha, da, wa, ha, ha, da. And that's just because I've done it thousands of times. But again, right now, I'm going to walk you through it 7 times. We'll repeat it. And then I will read to you the visualization. If you don't feel like you can visualize, just think of imagine. Everybody can imagine. So once you get the mantra going, just imagine as I'm reading to you that of the gift of the energy meditation to raise your vibration. That's what it's really about. If one is tired, if one is out in the woods or someplace you just need a respite from the day, the energy meditation is to revive you and to also raise your vibration. If I'm sitting in church, I'll be doing the energy meditation. If I've been sitting in travel, I'll do the energy meditation. I've been waiting for plane, trains, and automobiles, or getting off the plane. I want that energy boost. I'll do it. So once I teach this to you, you can do it as often as you want. However, I caution you not to do it real late at night, as you may be up for a while. So again, there I've just put it into the message. Let me do that again. I'll send it to everyone. Went to one person instead. Okay. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, there's a message now. Okay, and I just put it out there to everyone, Deborah, Debbie. Ah, de, wa, ah, ah, la. Okay, so again, that's the phonetic. This is actually speaking from ancient Sanskrit. If you've ever heard the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, it's amazing. And again, it's spoken in the original language of which it was created. And that's where the energy is. It's not, I mean, I love New Age. I love all the people that have come down through the last 150 years, if not 2,000 years. And if we were to practice some of these ancient beliefs in the original language, it would have so much more power in our lives. But when things have been translated from Aramaic to Greek to German to English and every variation thereof, it always loses something in translation. Okay, now I haven't seen anybody post about the water. Did no one feel anything? That's curious. And if you did, that's great, but I just didn't see anybody post about it. Okay, so with that, the energy meditation. Again, just relax for a moment. And this was taught to me by Master Yu from his work, the Dharma book. And so this meditation is to help relieve fatigue wherever you are, or are so very tired that you cannot even sit and can only lay flat on the ground. You can do this practice at any time or anywhere to revive yourself. You can do this practice sitting up, or you can do this, even do it lying down. So within 5 to 10 minutes, you'll recover your strength. And again, back in the day, the monks who were traveling across the world needed a way to keep themselves going because they may not have been may not have had the food or the rest of the time that they could take off, or they were being pursued by hostile forces. So they had to keep pushing themselves forward. All right, so this is the energy meditation. Again, I will put that on there and send it to everyone. There you go. Again, everybody should have it. So take a look at it right now. Look at the text. And it is, and we'll repeat it 7 times. Ah, de wa, ah, la. 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 All right, so now this is the motor. We'll go through this 1 time, and then I'll repeat it, and we'll start over, but just keep that mantra going in your mind. So now imagine visualize and imagine a membrane within your whole body, which is just under your skin and above your flesh. Imagine it is vibrating. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Visualize this layer of membrane is vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. And imagine it is generating an immeasurable chi sensation. And now simply continuing the mantra, ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Keep practicing the mantra and visualization until you feel that your whole body expands and expands into infinity. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. And again, we're going to continue with that. We're going to repeat it. Again, just keep that mantra going in your head, in your mind, in your heart. Imagine this is the word of the Buddha speaking to you with the power of God, speaking through the Buddha, speaking directly to you. Imagine that vibration in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, repeating it over and over. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. And whether your hands are up or down, doesn't matter. Feel free to put your palms up, palms down, doesn't matter. And again, keeping the mantra going. Ah, de wa, ha, ha, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ha, ba, la. And now visualize a membrane within your whole body, which is just under your skin and above your flesh. Imagine it is vibrating. Visualize this layer of membrane is vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. And imagine it is generating an immeasurable chi sensation. And keep practicing the mantra and the visualization until you feel that your whole body expands and expands into infinity. Again, just a few more moments, keeping the mantra going. Imagine that vibration. Imagine the expansion, expanding. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba, la. Ah, de wa, ha, ah, ba. And breathe, of course. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And how are you feeling now? Anyone care to share how they're feeling? Notice anything? Didn't notice anything? If anyone would like to speak live, feel free to raise your hand, and I'll be happy to call on you. In the meantime, just enjoy the energy and the vibration. or simply enjoy the bliss. So now, everyone, I ask you to begin to take a moment, listening with beyond your mind, and most importantly, your heart, to listen from your soul self, your mind self, your spirit self. And listening deeply now, and opening to this blessing, this prayer that I send to you silently, that you may receive it and feel it and embrace it. I send the love and compassion of Kuan Yin to fill your heart and mind and spirit, and to give you that hug that you've been waiting for that never comes. The hug from a mother or father or brother or sister, an aunt, a friend on the playground. That simple, kind act of a hug to know that we are loved, that we are cared for, that so often we've been waiting our whole life for, and waiting and waiting. And into this, I send that prayer of deepest compassion, of grace, of that of the light of Kuan Yin. So I ask each and every one of you to simply breathe deeply this vibration and just send it wherever it needs to go within you or to another that they may receive as well. And just breathe in gently to receive and release. Receiving from the universe, from the Buddhas, the masters, and release. And now you'll hear the meditation out loud. Om Ashe Hom, Om Mani Baby Hom, Namo Rignazaya, Namo Bhagavate, Maha Garunagaya, Vyasara Buramadanya, Dakadaya, Ahade, Samyasum Daya Daya Hom, Dada Dada Dadi Dadi Dudu Dudu, Hi, Je, Wei, Je, Sali Sali, Bursali, Sargalesa, Saragama, Yarane, Sedate, Basically, Ganaspal, Basade, Saha. And breathe. And breathe. And so now just taking a moment in heart and spirit, energies of the universe, the light of my master, Master You, the light of the Buddha, the light of the lineage for 2,500 years. And I ask you now just to imagine yourself surrounded by that light, surrounded by that grace. And now take a simple breath in, filling lungs, filling heart and soul, and release. And again, second breath in, the light of the energy of the master. And release. And third sacred breath in, into the bone, into the sinews, breathing in the light to every part and every thought that you are. And release. And now imagine yourself being lifted up to a higher vibration, to a higher plane, to a greater grace. And now just imagine that light is carrying you and holding you in suspension between time and space, beyond time and space, beyond the realms, beyond creation. And now just taking a moment, listening with your heart and mind and spirit. Listening now, experiencing now, whatever it is being expressed to you. Perhaps it is a color. Perhaps it is a vibration. Perhaps it is an image or a sound, or even a scent or a smell. Just take a moment now and really listen, really experience all the universe is having to express to you. And just be aware of it, to recognize it for whatever it is, and to recognize it for whatever it is not. Not good or bad, just being part of the universe. And now, with grace and gratitude, embrace whatever is being expressed. And deep breath in, with deep gratitude, the light of the Buddha into that place. And release. And now a second breath in, into that feeling, that vibration, that image, that color, that sound. And release. And third breath in, third breath in. And release. And now listening more deeply, allowing the universe to express more clearly to you, through you, of you, by you, for you. What now is coming up for you, whatever it is? Is it a color, a shape, a thing, a place, a person, a dimension, another galaxy, or a single atom, whatever it is? Just allow it to express to you fully in whatever guise, whatever form it is being presented. If it has a scent or a smell or nothing at all, or even just a void or an emptiness, it's all perfect. So now just allowing and getting clear in your mind's eye and your heart, whatever is being expressed to you, wherever you are sensing it. It might be in front of you, or behind you, or above you, inside of you, or into another dimension, far in the future or the past. Again, just allow spirit, allow the masters to speak to you and to show you this part of you long hidden. And so taking that moment now to recognize this for all that it is and also all that it's not. And again, as before, with the deepest grace and gratitude of the Buddha, of the masters, of the consciousness of God, breathe it in, breathe into that, whatever you're expressing, whatever you're feeling, breathe it into that place and release. And again, second breath in, breathing through bone, breathing through skin, breathing through membrane, through mind and body. Breathe it in, all that light into that expression of feeling, whatever it is that you see or sense, and release. And now a third sacred breath in, more and more flowing of the grace of gratitude, of creation, the wisdom of the Buddha into you, breathing in and release. And now just take a moment and allow and receive and receive. Without pushing, without pulling, without giving, without receiving. Just allowing that perfect time and place of the perfect moment in the nexus of creation. And again, now listening to all that is occurring. Is there something else that is coming up for you, or perhaps not? Is there another color or sphere of energy, a shape, a place, a thing, or not? Whatever you're experiencing is what is perfect for you to experience. Now just take a moment with it, whatever it may be or not, and just allowing the allowing, receiving the receiving, and let whatever it is to simply express in its own way to you, without it being anything more than what it is. Not a memory, not a future thought, which is simply an energy field expressing whatever shape you experienced. And as you're ready, again, drinking in the light of the masters with deepest gratitude into that feeling, into that image, into that vibration, and release again. And now as you drop that light again through your feet, through your knees, through your shoulders, through your back and forth and front and top and bottom, breathe it into that light, breathe it into that experience, whatever's been shown to you, and release. And so now again, one more time, receiving, drinking it in, dancing in it, playing in it, receiving, 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 into that whatever has been shown to you, and again, letting it go. And with the bell and the resonance, allowing that vibration to carry you onward and higher vibration, and breathing in and release. Breathing in the light, releasing the light, and breathe in the light, release the light. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out, and breathe in and out, and in and out. Just let yourself go with it. Let yourself grow with it. Breathing in and out, and in and out. Letting the fire build, letting the fire grow, breathing in energy, releasing energy like a furnace now, breathing in and out, and in and out, breathing in and out, letting the energy carry you wherever it may go, let the energy go to wherever it needs to travel, and now breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Be ready, be ready, be ready. And now deepest breath in, deep breath in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, hold it, breathe it in, hold it. Hold it, and release. Let it out, let it out, let it out. Blow it out, blow it out. Another deep breath in, cleaning away all the cobwebs, and release. Third, gentle breath in, gentle breath in, breathing through all of your senses, breathing through all of your thoughts and physical self, energetic selves, chakra selves. Breathe it in one more deepest, gentle time, ever so slowly, drinking in gently. Hold it, savor it as a perfect kiss, as a perfect glass of wine, as a perfect drink and drop of water, eternal, and release. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. And breathe. I'm sorry if he already gave you a headache. That may be the case as many things are being released. And people have had many amazing experiences and sometimes a negative one or two. Feel free to contact me and we can go much deeper on this and do a much deeper clearing than I can in a group setting. So again, this is my gift to you this day of greater blessings, of greater light, shining out to everyone that you meet, everyone in your world, to allow yourself to grow and go further and further and further, and so much more. And so with that, I've also now posted the link in the text chat box of all of the Nano Soma testimonials that I'm aware of and that you can take a look at. Again, some of these are on my own website. And again, to order Nano Soma, feel free to visit the Human MRI. I believe it's / Nano Soma. Let me just double check that. And that is the Human MRI and / nano, NANO -soma, SLMA.html. And that again is on my website under the products. And Lucy, it was my pleasure to have you here today to receive these blessings. And for you, Anna, all the way across the big pond to join us, and everyone else. Catherine, my best to Jim, and everyone that was able to attend today in person. Violet, God bless you for being there in England. Dorothy, Janet, Catherine, Carrie, Lucy, of course, Rita, great to see you again. Tara, TK, and Jim, and Deara, everyone. Again, it's been my great pleasure to share this with you, as well as some of the practice that I have learned to help bless others. Enjoy that water now. Maybe take a few sips, kind of help that energy continue. If you don't drink your whole glass of water, you can always add more water to it tomorrow. So if you always leave at least a little bit more than half, you can add more water to it, let it sit for a few hours. Overnight is ideal. And it will continue to bless that water for as long as you have it. If you want to put it in a container, that's just one way to continue. If anybody wants more of it, for me to make them some, just need to arrange to contact me and tell me when and where, and it'd be my great honor and pleasure to make more for you, as it's an unending grace. It's an energy that travels and continues that I can bring forth, and that others that wear the yellow vest can as well, of Master Yu. And of deepest gratitude I have for Master Yu and all that he has taught me and all that I've yet to learn. So wherever you are on your journey, in the metaphysical, the physical, the emotional realm, again, finding that one hug that you've been waiting for, as I have waited for mine, and now realize I can give it to myself and move forward. I send blessings to one and all. Again, namaste. I see the God in you, that for seeing the God in me. Thank you all so very much. Again, this will be coming up as a recording. You're more than welcome to play it over and get your water blessed again, or listen to this or go through the meditation we just did, and more. Whatever you'd like to do, feel free. Just contact me, send me an email to thehumanmri@gmail.com. Say, gee, Justin was in the event on Tuesday night. Please send me the replay. I will try and send it out to everyone that I invited, which is many. And so if you don't get it in the next few days, just feel free to contact me at thehumanmri@gmail.com. To read about Nano Soma, Double Helix Water, and other products that have been mentioned here, feel free to visit my website, The Human MRI. With that, everyone, glad you could make it. So much more. And I will talk to you all later. Take care. Good night. Namaste.